Hey, my name's Jake Nicholson. Welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video, we're going to talk about the Bank of England meeting this week. What's the probability of an interest rate cut? Now, there's lots of things that the bank's got to consider. You've got unemployment creeping up. You've got inflation creeping up. You've got the economy going down. It's not looking great. And it's a really tough decision this month. And in this video, I'm going to break down what the markets expect, what I actually believe will happen this week, and much, much more. Now, if you're new around here and you haven't done already, do make sure you subscribe to the channel over there and hit that bell notification. We're on the way to 50,000 subscribers. And by subscribing, you'll get all the latest house price news, interest rate news, property news, and much, much more. Let's also get some views on this video because I think people need to know what's going on in the market. Your part's simple. All you need to do is smash like, tickle like, do something to that like button. That really helps with the YouTube algorithm, and that really does help the channel grow. So thanks to everyone that takes a minute to do that. So, a big week. It's a big week. There's lots going on. We've got inflation data out in the morning. That's expected to be up. We've got the Federal Reserve doing their meeting tomorrow evening, Wednesday. And that looks like they're going to cut over in America, which is good if you want interest rates to come down. And then we've got the Bank of England meeting on Thursday. So this will have a big impact potentially on your mortgage, because if you're on a tracker rate, if the Bank of England does cut, you'll get an instant drop. Also, fixed deals would likely drop as well. So the Bank of England rate sits at the moment at 4%, and that dropped to 4% in August. We also had a drop last August. Most of those cuts start when I'm on holiday in France, so I think I should try and get myself to France by Thursday if I can. But here's some of the stuff that they're going to go through and consider when deciding what will happen on Thursday. First is jobs. The jobs market is not looking very strong. In fact, a lot of you are worried that jobs might go and never come back. One of our regular viewers on this channel, John the Accountant, he talks a lot about AI, and I agree with him. AI is something that really could change the world significantly, and I worry about my two daughters. I've got Emily, who's 4, and Georgia, who is 24. What happens if all of the jobs suddenly disappear? I mean, I use AI on a daily basis in my businesses. Obviously, I use ChatGPT, but there's other elements of AI that you're using constantly. I've got a marketing agency. Software that we use in that has AI elements in there. Now, I haven't cut staff, but we're less likely to recruit more staff in those businesses. And that maybe is something that we're seeing in the jobs market at the moment. You see, jobs vacancies have dropped in a month, 5.8% down. That's not good, is it? So if you lose your job or you're looking for another job, now's not the best time for that to happen. But if you do look at AI and just see how that's progressing, so many jobs are really at risk. You think of low-level legal jobs. You can write wills in there. You can understand stuff. I mean, I chuck government bills into ChatGPT and say, just explain this to me in simple terms. I don't have time to read 500-page documents from the government. So I get the key bullet points out of that and explain it in a language that makes sense to me so I can share that with you guys. But also you've got things like customer service jobs. They are at risk in the UK. You've got automation and robots as well in America. Walmart, which is Asda over here, that has machines now that stack the shelves and also scan the shelves to see what they need to order and stuff like that and check dates. That stuff's not great. You've always, for a long time, you've had McDonald's, for example, that you could order on these tills now, electronic tills. But in America, they've got McDonald's that don't have staff. I've got a Tesla car. I charge it at Gatwick Airport sometimes. You go in there and there's a shop. It's like a Tesco, it's Express. You tap in with your card Like when you're going for a train turnstile, you walk in, you take out what you want. You don't have to scan it and bag it. You just walk out and it charges you. It knows what you've got. So unemployment is something that the Bank of England are looking at. Vacancies are down. There's 700,000 at the moment, 5.8% drop. That's a lot. The unemployment rate is something that they've got to consider as well. And that is not the highest it's ever been, but it's creeping up. It's at 4.7% at the moment. That's worrying for a lot of people. And so you think about this, unemployment goes up, that causes more stress on the government. They haven't got the funds. What happens then? All of this stuff is something that you've got to consider. And so the Bank of England are looking at this. So yes, their main task is to bring inflation down to 2%, but they're also tasked with doing that with maximum employment. So that's something that they've got to consider here on Thursday. Now, let's talk about inflation, because that's going to come out tomorrow, very likely high. It's at 3.8%. It went from 3.6 to 3.8. It's higher than America, higher than most Western countries at the moment. And let's have a look at why that's happening. The key things that are contributing, in my opinion, to inflation are, well, this is a fact, food and drink, right? Now, you might just think food and drink is more expensive because energy is up. Part of that's true. Part of it's true because of wages. But also, the government launched a packaging tax. And so businesses are getting taxed more now if they don't have ultra green packaging. This is being added to your cost of goods at the moment. And that is one of the bigger contributors at this point to your food and drink going up. So this doesn't make sense to me that the government has this policy, they've implemented this policy at a time when inflation is high. Now, food and drink inflation hits lower income people more so than anybody else. So why are we implementing policies that are increasing costs while we're in an inflation crisis? Why not wait until that inflation drops? It doesn't make sense to me. You've also got things like business rates went up. You've got the minimum wage went up. You've got the energy going up, but nothing really being done to bring it down. That's crazy as well, that there's no real policies. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, what I do want to say here is I'm not anti-Labour in this. I was talking like this when we had the Conservatives in power. I just think the government, whoever's in power, doesn't really have a clue, and they're not really pushing to bring prices down. It just doesn't make sense to bring in that packaging tax and levies when you've got an inflation problem. Why wouldn't you just wait a year? It just doesn't make sense to me. So the inflation data is what they're going to be looking at. That's going in the wrong direction. So the unemployment data would help support dropping rates. The GDP data, the economy's not growing, that would support dropping rates. The inflation data does not support that. And that's why most people, including myself, believe that the Bank of England will hold rates this week at 4%. Now, what's the vote? Let's see if we can have a guess at what the vote is. This is just purely a guess. Give me your guess in the comments below. I think that 7 people will vote to hold and 2 will put to cut. That's where I think we'll end up on Thursday. Be interesting to see. It's madness to me that all of this inflation, in my opinion, is being caused by government policy. Some of these things could wait another year, and so it doesn't cause all of it to happen at once and really hit vulnerable people, and just not get the economy moving is bonkers, in my opinion. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Before you go, do make sure you grab Mortgage Secrets. More than 2,000 people have. This will help you know when the right time is to remortgage, how to find the off-market mortgage deals. Not everything is on the comparison sites, and not everything is with your broker as well. It's good to get the deals and present those to your broker and see if you can get a better deal there as well. Do grab that while you're here. It's free, and that could save you a few pounds, which is important when things are getting more expensive. Let me know as well in the comments any other videos that you want me to make. Do smash like, do subscribe, and do check out all the other content as well on the channel, including this video right here.